Okay, so let's talk about like for reps. I see a lot of guys drop the dumbbell, and I'm a big touch and go guy.
Mhm.
I was able to pull out a win against Emmanuel Piscari in a Circus dumbbell event in Germany, and I don't think I was any stronger than him. I just think I had a better plan because he was dropping the dumbbell, picking it back up, and I was just swinging it down, touch and go. And you might say, oh, that might require more energy, but for me, I trained it that way, so I was ready to go. It wasn't like I just changed my plan on the day or something. Um, Also, making sure that the dumbbell's centered, and making sure you have a strong base. Whether you have more of uh, like a more upright where you're just tilting at the top, or some guys will like kick the hip and have a little bit wider base. But whatever style you decide to go with, you want to make sure that the weight. I mean, it's like every event we do. You want that weight as close to your midline as possible. And the further you get away from that midline, the weaker you're going to be. It's like we manipulate our body around the implement to move the implement. We don't manipulate the implement. Whenever you move the implement on a horizontal plane, you're wasting energy, right? So yeah, definitely make sure you have a strong base. I do like this thing with athletes who are new to it, where I'll just do have them practice just getting into rack position. So you'll just do like maybe 2 sets of 5 or 6 with lightweight. I'm just coming up, pushing the dumbbell, and then locking into position. You see a lot of guys that they're real far out here, or it looks like the dumbbell's gonna, rip their shoulder blade right off. Just making sure that you're getting the bell's sitting on your shoulder, on your trap. I actually push my head against the dumbbell when I do it, and I look up the dumbbell so I see where it's going as I'm pressing up. And then once I drive into the dumbbell, I'll even move underneath it. So that would lead me to my next tip would be try to think about it more like you're throwing the dumbbell off your shoulder. Like try to be explosive as possible. Like my feet literally leave the ground when I do a circus dumbbell. So I think too many guys are like, "Oh, I'm pressing." Yeah, you're definitely pressing, and the heavier it gets, you're going to use more shoulders. But I try to do it more of like a jump and a tricep extension. And even if you I guess you could consider it a little bit of like a circus push jerk. You could drop under it a little bit. Go if you when your feet leave the ground and you move your feet out a little bit, you can pop under. That might help you with the lockout a little bit. But also making sure that when you do lock out, that your bicep is I say bicep to ear. If your arm's coming out here, you're gonna have a harder time stabilizing the dumbbell. So yeah, that would be a couple quick tips for the circus dumbbell. And I would say even for the log, like the same exact sort